you need to sort of not get your tits in a tangle, maybe sometimes, and pull your finger out. More sort of action on your behalf.
Yeah.
Could be a one-night stand or could be anything, but just try it.
I'm in love with Lucinda's dad. I'm in love. I want him. Please, can I borrow him just to be my dad from time to time? The fact that he had the audacity to say to Timothy, you need to have my daughter for a one-night stand. Oh my God, had me in stitches. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 11, Episode 18. Another episode and the drama continues. So you have Sarah and Tim, they're in a good place. Whatever they did, whatever happened, whether it was Sarah being called out by the experts that sort of got her to turn her ways and sort of behave better, something seems to be going okay with them. They seem to be in a very happy place. Even Tim is smiling naturally. It's not like he's forcing a smile because it's very uncomfortable. So that was good to see. You have Tristan and Cassandra. Obviously, Tristan acknowledges that he made a mistake by writing leave. I know I saw the comments in my last video. I will respond at some point. I'm so sorry. I'm busy with work. And so I think this is me. I know people have implied that maybe he's gay. I don't think he's gay. I think he's someone who grew up with a lot of insecurities, maybe faced a lot of bullying. And so there are a lot of layers there that need to be peeled back before he can appreciate the man that he is. My hope is that he's able to peel them back before he loses Cassandra, because once he's lost Cassandra, that's it. And she acknowledges that he's a great man. Outside of the intimacy, he is everything else that she desires in a man. And so I hope, as he says, that he now understands that she really likes him and she's not putting on an act. I think that was his concern, that she might be putting on an act. And the fact that he understands that this is genuine and this woman really likes him, I hope they continue to work on that and they grow and they become their best selves. Apparently Ben disappeared because they slept in separate bedrooms with Ellie, so they have no idea where he is. Ellie thinks, it's a good thing she was able to speak her mind. I think there was more to her waiting to exhale moment. I think maybe she's dating Jono by that time because it came out of the blue. She's been very quiet. Even when her cousin was misbehaving at a wedding, she didn't even say anything. And so for her to have this moment where she speaks up is a bit surprising for me. You have Jono and Lauren. I really feel sorry for Lauren because they're having this conversation and I know he's someone who's very laid back, but it's like you need to wind him up for him to actually work. Somebody needs to change his batteries because I know I let my wife down. Oh my God, he should speak to someone or he should get better friends that are able to give him advice, because for him to think aligning himself with Jack is the best thing, I don't think so. I said this yesterday, I'll say this again. I think Jack has something that is hanging over his head, and whatever it is, Jack is using it to make sure he controls Jono, because it doesn't make sense why Jono can't see what went wrong, and the fact that he needs to apologize profusely to his wife for him to sort of be no, that's not the time. That's not the time and that's not the place. He should know by now that he made a mistake and he needs to apologize and he needs to be groveling to his wife. And sadly for him, he has a wife that will hold his feet to the fire. So at some point he's going to have to do the work to make sure he wins Lauren back, but I don't think he's interested in that. I think he's moved on. Hey, it is what it is. There's nothing more sad than someone thinking that they're bragging or they're showing off and everybody else is laughing at them when they think, people are laughing at what they're doing, they're enjoying what they're doing. It's really sad because now we've seen that Jack is a master manipulator, because they're talking about the previous day's incident. And I'm surprised that the producers didn't ask them about their little sort of incident whereby once everybody left, they were having this conversation about, they tried to break us apart, but they'll never break us apart. I'm still getting to take you home. And it's like this man, you can see, is psychologically manipulating this woman. She is now his puppet and is, showing people what a master manipulator he is, because he said he would, you'd fix her, and he's fixed her to his liking. And we're all sitting there and we're watching this. The idea that Tori was bragging about getting a tattoo and saying, oh, you will always have me and I'll always have you and we'll always remember each other. And it's like, this is the most idiotic thing I could think of. The most idiotic thing. The audacity to feel that they could draw a baby with horns on it doesn't make any sense to me. And so for Tori to say, oh, this is a permanent fixture, this is going to be your mark of regret for life. And this is him branding you for the rest of your life. You'll have that, and you'll have to explain that to everybody you come across. Why you have that stupid tattoo on your arm. Make it make sense. For him to put it on his inner thigh, that doesn't make sense. How do you know? Maybe his other conquests are the reason why he has all his other tattoos. Maybe this is something he does with every single girl that he dates. You're very silly, young girl. You're very silly. And for you to brag about it and smile and look at the camera that this is an F you to everybody else, I would rather you say F you to me, because I don't think I would ever put myself in that position to where I'm branded by a man just because I'm trying to prove a point that he is the guy for me, when he is telling the rest of the world that he doesn't like you, he doesn't find you romantically attractive, or he doesn't have a spark with you, and yet you think you branding yourself is going to change that. Okay, Sherlock Holmes, okay, do you? Maybe he slept with her after the incident just to prove a point. Hey, it is what it is. So you have Ben finally phone Ellie, because I think they were looking for him with the producers. They didn't know where he was since he slept in a separate bedroom. And then she's sort of telling him, I want to speak to you now and I'm with the producers, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yes, you want to talk to me now. I am telling you, because he said it only had 1 hour sleep. Why not wait until I'm good and ready? Yes, you're ready, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to listen to what you want to say. So if I'm asking for space, then give me space. And when I'm ready, we'll both sit down and have a conversation. But until I'm ready, please give me my space. And that's what he's asking for. And so for her to come and oh, this relationship has always been on his terms, and I feel this is exactly what he's doing. I don't have empathy for her. The moment I found out she was dating Jono, I don't have empathy for her, because at the end of the day, she went there looking for love and was prepared to find it wherever she could find it, and she found it in Jono. So hey, you have Lucinda and Timothy. Personally, I don't understand. Does Mavs have to rent the whole floor then, so that if people don't want to share a room, they put them in separate rooms? What is it? Do they always rent 2 rooms just in case the other person refuses to stay in the same room as their match? What is it? I don't get it. So we know Timothy was upset because Lucinda commented that, she felt like they were in a friendship couple. They were not in a romantic couple. And Tim took it some type of way because he said she threw him under the bus. He felt she wasn't loyal. He felt like, you couldn't trust her. And it's like, it goes both ways, buddy. It goes both ways. You can't trust her, but she's never once said she doesn't trust you. She has put up with a lot in this relationship. If you were upset about something she said, be a grown man, put your big boy panties on and go and sit down and have a conversation. You don't need to be hiding in your room because you say, oh, she's broken my trust. Is she lying? No. Are you in a friendship couple? Yes. So what's the problem? What's the problem there? I don't get it. And I wish they would hold his feet to the fire more. I think people like to use the word trust and being loyal to hide behind their insecurities. They like to use that to not take responsibility for their actions. And I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. He needs to sort of try and grow as a person and be the best version of himself. Anyway, you then have Jade and Ridge and Michael and Stephen move into their new apartments. They all look very happy and very excited. I think Ridge is starting to feel some type of way and his walls are sort of coming down and is actually surprised. I think living with, Jade will be very good for him. It will help him to grow and be the best version of himself. Michael and Stephen seem to have got over their second choice thingy. I hope they continue to grow and continue to move away from that. It's time to meet the family, and first up is Tori and Jack. And you have, Tori invite her friend. And for me, it's questionable because why didn't she invite her family members? Does she not have any siblings? Could she not invite her mom, who was a fan of Jack at the wedding and offered to take him? Make that make sense? I don't get that. Anyway, I remember at the wedding saying that I was a bit nervous that the friend decided to sort of raise her questions about Jack at the wedding instead of waiting until they came back from the honeymoon. And so to see her there, yeah, I'm happy that she's there, but also I wish she had asked more questions. She did sort of speak to Jack, and I think Tori had prepped him for her friend coming, I think he really went through a masterclass in order to impress the friend, because she asked him about his, muzzle your wife comment, and he said, I was pushed into a corner and I was just reactive. And for me, that's who Jack is at the core of him. He's a misogynist. He has no respect for women. The way he talks about his wife and the way he spoke about somebody else's wife in the husband's presence, I don't like that. So he said, I was backed into a corner, so I was just fighting, and I will always fight for those I love and protect them, and I have to be the man. And it's like, okay, just say whatever you feel needs to be said in order to win. The friend then asked him about sex, and he said, I was hoping to build a connection and make sure that we had a genuine connection first before I pushed for sex, and now I'm ready. And it's like, what? You were ready overnight? Make that make sense? And for Tori, for her to say, I also want to build a bond before, it's like, who are you playing to? Who do you think you're lying to? We can see, yes, it's highly edited, but still we can see what we see. And there's nothing there to say you two have grown as a couple. The two of you are just performing because you want to be theatrical. And for her to say we're the best couple here, it's like, this is not a competition. This is not a competition. You're the most toxic couple in the experiment. Yes, that I get. But you're not the best couple in the experiment. So please sit down somewhere and wait to be called upon. Also, before that, you had Ash leave. Ash has decided to leave because he slept in a separate room with Madeline, and I think he really thought about it and decided to leave. I don't know why he wrote stay in the first place. He said he regretted writing stay, and so he wanted to leave because he felt that was the best thing. Even, a blind man could tell him that it was the best thing. He should have left the moment she started hearing voices at the reception, and then on the honeymoon, he should have, run through to the... It should have run for the nearest door, because that should have been warning enough to say, this is not for you. This is not for you. Yes, the producers and the experts did him bad because that woman was not ready for marriage. She was there to be famous or to get a TV show, but she wasn't ready for marriage. That's my opinion. We didn't even get to see her say goodbye, so I don't know whether she refused to come on camera or what happened with Madeline. Eden and Jaden get to meet with their family. They actually traveled to go and meet their family. So they met, Jaden's coach, Eden's dad, and Jaden's brother. And it's like Mavs. I said this at the wedding. Why is it we constantly have to hear that the brother was on the experiment, and the brother constantly has to talk about the fact that he's got buyer's remorse because he didn't take the experiment seriously? Make that make sense? We don't need to hear that. It's now Jaden's time, and let's focus on Jaden. Jaden seems very happy. He's in a good place. We all know he's in love, or he's falling in love with Eden. Eden is very ecstatic. Her dad even picks up on it, that you just want your child to be happy, and Eden really seems happy with Jaden. So that's good for them. They're talking about what they're going to do after the experiment, which was good. It seems they live in the same area, or well, I don't know whether the dad lives in the same area as the brother, or the brother came down, but it was cute to see them and how carefree and relaxed and organic it seemed, unlike the stage performance we've just watched with Jack, Tori and her friend. I would never have thought this would happen. Never would I have thought I would see the day when Rich behaved like a mature grown man. So he and Jade receive a letter to say they need to write a letter to one another, confessing something that they haven't told anyone, or something that they've kept secret for a very long time. And so Jade is the first one to go up. So she talks about her struggles as a teen mom, being pregnant as a teenager, the fact that, her partner cheated. And you saw the professional come out of Ridge, the sense that the psychiatric nurse came out, the sense that he was compassionate, empathetic. He was listening. He gave her tissues. He was there for his wife to actually make sure that she felt she received the support that she needed. And so that was amazing to watch. And for him to say that dude needs to look himself in the mirror and give himself an uppercut. Rich will always be Rich, but I really liked it. I felt it was cute. I felt it was endearing. And it was nice to see him sort of take on the mature role and not always, be the persona that he puts on. So you have, Michael and Stephen be asked to sort of cuddle, and it was cute to see. They seem to be moving on. They seem to be in a great place. They really enjoyed their cuddle. The alarm went off and they were still cuddling. So that was nice to see that they're in a space whereby they're very comfortable. Hugging for them is easy, and so that was cute to see. And then you have, I think the producers made it seem like it was the following day. It was still the same day. You have Jade sort of breaking down because she's worried that, after unpacking her baggage, Ridge is going to run away and is going to leave her. So I think she's worried that he's going to abandon her. And so to see Ridge step up, oh my God. Ridge is the maturity that he's handling the situation is amazing. I had very low expectations. I was very disappointed as an HCP, thinking, oh my God, how could he work with anyone? But to see him and how he's handled his wife's concerns, how he's handled his wife sort of revealing her innermost secret has been a revelation for me. And I could not be more proud of him. I could not commend his maturity. He's a totally different man from D's to who he is now. So oh my God, I love the evolution of Ridge. I hope he stays on that path and he doesn't go back to being his silly self when he meets up with his buddies. It's sad but honest that Timothy is self-sabotaging and he doesn't want to acknowledge that. I think he's not used to having good things, and so when he has something good happen to him, he has to find an excuse as to why it is good and why he should be cautious because something might go wrong. Because I don't get it. He slept in his own place, in a separate place from Lucinda because he's upset that she threw him under the bus and that Jaden, spoke up. And it's like, how does Lucinda have to take responsibility for Jaden? She's not responsible for his mouth and the things that come out of his mouth. So please sit down. She's not I think he wants to be the center of attention. I think because he hasn't had this, he wants everything to revolve around him. Because Lucinda has been nothing but gracious with him. She has allowed him to set the pace for their relationship. So the idea and for him, the audacity to talk down to her and not sort of be willing to compromise or listen to her apologize doesn't make sense. She even asked him, before we go in to see the family, because they are going to meet up with her mom and dad and his friends, let us reach an agreement that we're going in as a team. No, let's just go in. And it's like, what do you think you're going to benefit from that? You're used to people burning you. So instead of allowing anyone in, you'd rather burn people before they get anywhere close to you. It's a pity. It's a pity that that's how he grew up. And that's how, some of the experiences are that he's had to endure. But there's no need for him to take out his anger on Lucinda. She's been nothing but caring and loving towards him. Oh my God, I get so upset. Okay, can Lucinda lend me her dad? Whenever I feel I need a dad, can she lend him to me from time to time? I think she needs to hire him out to people that need a dad, because he was sitting there and I think he could tell something wasn't right, because I think it took Lucinda and, Timothy a long time to sort of walk in. And then when they walked in, Timothy kept talking about how upset he was. He was upset about, the commitment ceremony, the way Lucinda handled it, the fact that Jaden had to speak up. So he was very upset. He was feeling some type of way. And so the dad at first was being, cordial and he was listening. And then in the end, he said he talks too much. He's a bit boring. He's a bit repetitive. And so I give them credit for allowing the dad to pull him aside and have a conversation with Timothy. Because Timothy, one of his worst memories is his dad telling him that he didn't like him on his deathbed. So I think to have someone who's a father figure to somebody else, or a father figure in a relationship that is in, irregardless of how he feels about Lucinda, and to have the father have a conversation, and it was a sort of a wake-up call to Timothy to say, wake up. You have an amazing girl. Yes, she made a mistake. She's apologized. You need to move on. You can't continue to live in this place of misery where you're holding on to past hurts from people. And so I really loved that. I thought it was amazing. And so to have him, have this back and forth and sort of express himself, and have the father sort of address each and every one of his concerns and actually tell him that my daughter's amazing. If you didn't know that, my daughter is amazing. She's it. And if you don't recognize it, you're going to regret this once she's moved on. I said this before. I'll say it again. I even said it in my comments in one of the videos. Timothy and Tristan got the women that they needed. Not the women that they wanted, but the women that they needed. Sadly for both of them, they were not in the best of spaces to receive these women, because psychologically, emotionally, they were broken, so they weren't able to appreciate the women that they're matched with. But if there's anyone in the experiment who lucked out and got, more than they deserved, it's Tristan and Timothy. And so I like the fact that the dad said to him, you can have a one-night stand if you want to, try it. You never know, you might like it. And so I think that was good, because he ended up having Timothy's laugh and sort of break the shell. Because I think the moment you break the shell with Timothy, then you get to meet the amazing person that he is. Because even his friend, one of them, she was crying. She was saying, he has been through a lot. So at times it's difficult for him to sort of move on or to allow people to sort of come in. So it was good that the dad got to be there, Lucinda's dad. It was good. Her mom barely said anything. It was mainly the dad. And the dad sort of he told him, I'm giving you the green light. Try and have a one-night stand with my daughter. You never know. This might be what you need. This is what Timothy needs. Well, Lucinda is the woman he needs. She might not be the woman that he wants. She's the woman that he needs. Her family is the family he needs. He's all alone in the world by his friends. He would be best served if he settled his carriage to Lucinda. I think that would be the best thing for him. So I hope, if nothing else, this is his wake-up moment. And I hope, if nothing else, he learns from this and he grows and he appreciates this woman and puts in the work to make sure that this thing goes the long distance. But anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 17. Bye guys.